Hi, today I'm challenging myself to be able to create videos on this channel what I create generally using Sony a6400 using iPhone 13 Pro Max, and let's see how we can go about that. A disclaimer, this entire video is also actually getting shot right now on the iPhone 13 Pro Max, so if you're watching this, I am pretty sure you will be able to spot in some bit of differences if you're a regular visitor to the channel. So let's first try and see what is the setup in over here. I have a lovely Godox dome in over here, which is brightly lighting my face. And there is a mic, of course, which I'm using, which is an independent boom mic, not the microphone from the iPhone. And if you want to see any differences between that, then here's the sound from the iPhone inbuilt microphone, and back again to the microphone right from the boom mic that I'm currently using, which should be giving a lot crisper and neater voice in comparison to the inbuilt iPhone microphones. But that boom mic sound is going into the Zoom H4 end where it's getting recorded. Because I'm recording entirely on the iPhone's back camera, one of the ways that I can actually monitor what's really going on and how the fit of the frame really looks like is by replicating it on a MacBook. So I actually have a MacBook right here in front of me, and I can actually recreate the entire look of what's going on the phone screen by doing a screen share of the iPhone onto the MacBook. So this has actually turned out to be a really good way to monitor what's really going on the iPhone screen. Once you start the camera app, try and locate this cinematic mode. Now for iPhone 13 and 13 Pro Max, this allows you to shoot up to a full HD video, while as the recent phones of iPhone 14 also allows you to shoot in 4K. It really didn't turn out to be that big a deal for me when I saw the final results of what the phone can actually shoot in. Beyond then punching and zooming in into the video, nothing else really changed much in terms of the crispiness of the image that you were looking for. The first thing that I changed after opening the app was the focal length. Now, generally, the focal length can go down all the way up to a focal length of 2 as well. But I found that to be very jittery, as well as it was doing some kind of a funny thing where it was keeping my chest blurred while as my face was on focus. I didn't want to go for that kind of a look. So one of the best calibrated thing that I could figure out was at an f-stop of 3.2. At a f3.2, everything looks like what you are seeing right now is also at an f3.2. So if you're able to set it up at that particular level, you would get a nice crisper looking image, and everything else, like the way it is in the background right now as well, will be quite blurred, and the light over here that you can see as well is actually looking quite nice and blurred, while as my entire body and my face is in pure sharp focus. So I found f3.2 to be a really good focal point. The second setting that I really went down and turned is the brightness. Now, if I do not change the brightness, then this is what a cinematic video directly out of the iPhone will really look like. iPhone really is adding a lot more light than what is needed in this particular shot, but that's just generally phones overall, so not something specific to iPhones, but any phone camera that you try to use will generally try and punch in as much as light as it can from wherever it finds it. So to be able to recreate a studio kind of a style footage that I generally shoot with a darker background, I'm going to reduce down the brightness as low as possible, and then in the post I can probably work on it to bring it back up a little bit. And there you go. Those are the two settings that you need to do on the cinematic mode itself. Control your brightness well and bring a focal length where everything looks actually sharp in the video itself. Once I was done shooting the video, I brought it into my editing application. Now in this case, the editing application that I use is DaVinci Resolve, but you can probably do the same kind of things even if you are using a Premiere Pro or Final Cut Pro or any other editing software. Once I exported the video into DaVinci Resolve, here are the few changes that I really made to the entire thing. First was I tried bringing up a little bit of more shadows so you can see things which are completely getting darkened by the background. The next thing was to increase a little bit of a color boost so that some of the things which were getting lost by a higher level of contrast was increased, and like a t-shirt that I'm wearing, I could just pop the color up and the color just looks a lot much nicer and brighter in this case. Most of the videos will actually show, and even I do that quite often, that when you shoot a video, you will try and achieve an S-curve with your entire color where you increase your highlights and you reduce your shadows. In this case, I'm actually going to do the reverse, where I'm increasing my shadows and actually not at all touch my highlights. The whitest regions of the entire video are actually quite bright already. I will highly recommend do not play around a lot with the video coloring. The moment I was trying to add a little bit of more gain or increase the gamma certainly a little bit more higher, I found that the video was already starting to tear a little bit. I didn't want to go all the way down from the noise reduction, etc. So just out of the camera with these couple of settings, like increasing your shadows and increasing a little bit of a color punch overall, I was able to get a very neat looking image right out of the iPhone 13 Pro Max in over here. I'm actually quite surprised by the kind of video the iPhone 13 Pro Max in cinematic mode can actually shoot. This comes actually very close to my A6400, which I generally use for shooting my videos on this channel. There is a lot of digitalization, definitely, so you can see the clip and probably tell that, hey, you know what, this was actually digitized a bit, but it is doing a fantastic job of creating that blur background, those beautiful bokehs that we all love. And over a period of years, I think cinematic mode really has a lot of scope to grow, and anybody who gets onto the bandwagon of working on cinematic mode primarily for a studio setup like that, I'm pretty sure will not be disappointed in future what Apple may roll out with it. So that's a quick video on helping you understand if you were planning to actually run a studio of your own using the iPhone 13 Pro or 13 Pro Max or 14 Pro Max and actually using the cinematic mode, can you actually recreate an entire studio looking environment for your own self? I would not really recommend you to record in the iPhone's microphone. So in case if you were planning to do that, we'll try and invest in something which could be like a collar mic or a separate Zoom H1. Hope you enjoyed this video and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more such videos in the future as well. I'll see you in the next one.